Preeya, one of the things I always say that if you want to go to someone's house and you're not invited, take a cake. Knock on the door and they will let you in.
Okay.
Okay.
Why are you there if you're not invited is what I'm wondering.
Maybe I'm not invited, but you rock up with a cake and everyone loves a cake. All right, Richo, come on in. I do it all the time. Now, this cake has two components. One is the dry and the other component is the wet. So we'll start off with the dry component. We've got our plain flour here, 3/4 of a cup of flour straight into the bowl. And I'll give you that over there.
Wonderful.
And I've also got some cocoa. Now, all of these recipes are available on Good Chef, Bad Chef website. Download the recipe and you'll be able to make all this. I've got some cocoa goes in there as well. And for some extra lift, I've got some baking powder in that goes. And because it's such a lovely cake, I've got two kinds of sugar. I've got the wholemeal sugar here, which is very, very healthy for you. It is wholemeal.
Okay.
And I also have caster sugar in that goes as well. Now, you've got a whisk in your hand. I want you to whisk it all together to break up any lumps so they're ready to accept the wet ingredients. You like
Okay,
that?
I like it.
Now, Preeya, over in my pot here, I've got some butter and some chocolate that's melting nice and slowly. Now, normally, if I'm using a gas stove, I would use a bain-marie, which is the boiling water underneath and the butter and chocolate in a bowl on top of it. But because I've got induction, I can actually select a really low temperature and it warms up and melts nice and gently. So it gives me full control, and that's really, really important when you're melting chocolate. Now, I've got the chocolate and butter here, and I'm just going to add some milk straight into the pot here and stir it around nice and gently. You can see I'm going to get a lovely, lovely paste. And I'll also add some espresso coffee because we need something to pick us up and keep us up. Comes together beautifully. And why not crack an egg straight into there as well and mix that around till it comes together. And some vanilla. I love vanilla. It makes everything nice and tasty. There we go. Now, I'm going to spoon this or pour this straight into the bowl there. And I always use a spatula, and a spatula is great for making sure you get every single bit of that chocolate butter into the bowl. And I want you to use the whisk to whisk it around.
Okay.
Just bring it all together nice and gently.
Coffee.
And one of the things you'll notice when the batter is ready to go, you'll see it becomes nice and shiny. Look at that, it's nice and shiny. And we're ready to pop it straight into a cake tin. This is a smaller cake tin. It's been sprayed with oil and then lined with baking paper, and that stops everything from sticking. So I'll grab that off you, give it a little bit of a tap.
Beautiful.
Now, you can leave some of that chocolate on that whisk so you can enjoy the chocolate flavour of this mud cake.
Oh, the coffee.
Oh, it's great, isn't it?
Oh.
So this into the oven, 160 degrees Celsius. It'll take about 25 to 30 minutes to cook. And I'll show you how to make the chocolate mousse that goes on top. You can't wait for this. It gets better. Preeya, the cake is in the oven and it's baking away beautifully. While that's baking, I'm going to get you to whisk up this cream. And whilst you are whisking the cream, I'm going to make the chocolate part for the chocolate mousse, which is what this second stage is all about.
It's chocolate upon chocolate. It's just no moderation at all.
What's that word you keep saying? I know it's important, but I just can't imagine what it could mean. So cream in the pot here, some butter goes straight in there as well. Icing sugar goes in there as well. And then to the chocolate. I'm using this beautiful 50-50 chocolate. A little bit of bitterness there and a little bit of sweetness as well.
Nice.
Just like me, isn't it?
I'm just wondering if you're expecting this to get thickened.
You know, it's one of those things that we do to young apprentices in the kitchen. Instead of putting cream in the bowl, we put a litre of milk and we get you to stand there in the corner and whisk that up, usually for the naughty apprentices that are causing us lots of trouble. But I'm not going to do that to you. The best way to do it is a nice big whisk like this, a balloon whisk, and then we just whisk it like this so it's nice and firm. That chocolate's melting with the icing sugar and the cream. The cream is whisking up beautifully and we'll be ready in no time.
Are you happy with that cream, Richo?
That cream is beautifully whisked. And I've got the butter, the chocolate, the icing, sugar and the cream in here. I've cooled it down slightly and now I'll just put some of it into the cream. When I put it in there, I want you to fold it through that cream nice and gently. And folding it through, you call it stirring, I call it folding.
I was going to say to everyone at home, folding is just a fancy word for stirring. Would you agree?
Sort of. What you're trying to do is introduce the chocolate without introducing too much air.
With love. Stirring with love.
Exactly. And then we pour in the rest of the chocolate into the cream. In it goes. Last little bit. Now that's folding together beautifully.
I'll let you fold.
Okay, I'll take over from here. Move all the chocolate in with the cream fairly quickly. I'll hold the bowl on the side there. A spatula is the thing to use because you can get all the way around it and make sure that that cream and the chocolate is really well combined.
Cohesive.
Look at that, looking good.
It is looking good. It's a lot of cream, chocolate. This would be like a, enjoy a small mindful piece.
Now, if you can hold the bowl there for me, I'll just spatula that straight into the top of the cake there. The cake has been cooled down, so it's just the right temperature to add the chocolate mousse to the top of it. Last little bit goes in there, and I've left some chocolate in the bowl there. And then it's a matter of just turning it around, smoothing it down as much as you can. Look at that, that's for you as well.
Oh, wonderful, thank you. Treats for Preeya, I love it.
Now, you've got a little palette knife here with a little elbow in it, which makes it easier to smooth all this down. That is fantastic. Pop this into the fridge, let it set overnight, and I'll show you how delicious it is. Preeya, what do you think of that? Looks great, doesn't it?
It does.
Now, I'm going to take it out of the wrapper here and pop it onto my little cake stand here. While I'm doing that, if you can grab some of those blueberries and raspberries, pop them into the bowl, tear off a couple of mint leaves, a bit of icing sugar in there, gently mix them around, and then we'll pop them on top. This is why we have a springform tin. We open the top like that.
Easy.
Easy peasy. Now, here's another tip. I had a little bit of chocolate mousse left over. I put a little bit of chocolate mousse on the bottom there so that when I put the bottom of the cake onto that chocolate mousse, it makes it sticky and doesn't slide all over the place.
Okay.
The last thing you need is a non-sticky, slidey cake. So I peel off the bottom there. Looking great, isn't it?
It is. So you need that baking paper to be high to kind of hold it all together, the mousse.
Exactly. Stops anything from leaking out, and it just makes it work really well. And then you just grab the cake like that, pop it on, and then pick this up, pop it into the centre there like that. All right.
There's the berries.
I'll just spoon these on top. Look, if they fall all over the place, it's okay. Just, oh, look at that. They will fall all...
Everywhere. Just throw them around. I love it.
It's cool. Well, I'll just grab my hand and spot them on there. The thing about the blueberries is they're round. They do roll. And Preeya, that's how you tell the blueberries are fresh. Now, a little bit of mint goes on the top here and some icing sugar as well. And we give that a nice big dust
More
like
sugar.
that.
This is beautiful, I have to say. This is very different to my chocolate ball where you've got a hint of chocolate. This is the other end of the spectrum. You know, sometimes I would enjoy it.
I think so. I would enjoy it all the time. Breakfast, lunch and dinner, what a cracker. OK, Preeya, if you can pass me the knife and I'll cut into it so we can have a taste of it. This is going to be glorious. Oh, look at that.
Oh, my goodness.
Straight through there. Now, a good tip, this is a pro tip from Richo, is I would use a hot knife. Exactly.
Self-declared pro tip.
I would use a boiling hot knife and that cuts straight through it. But you know what? Oh, look at that. Put that on there.
Holy moly.
Slide that out of the way.
That mousse is so dense.
Yes, it is. It's what you want. Because I'll be walking down the street before I knock on your door to get in your house. I need it to stay nice and firm.
I'm already nervous about this moment. I gave us a small spoon because it's just saying like a small, a small portion of it. It was a little hinty hint.
Lucky I have one of these handy.
It is very beautiful. That is a thick cake with the lightness of the mousse. That's actually come together quite nicely.
The cake is really dense, it's rich, it's delicious. Probably one slice is enough, maybe two, but that's about it.
I agree. I think one slice, enjoy it mindfully, and it's a sometimes food, and I think enjoy it whilst you're eating it. It's basically you on a plate, Richo, and I like it.